the national gold standard on Native languages, and of course, federal investment via Hawaiian law and the Hokulea, which became the symbolic icon of a rebirth of Native Hawaiian culture and pride. But much more than the resources, I think he would be most proud of the relationships that were formed and the capacity that was created, much of which is in this room and allows these basic programs to continue forward. So I thank all of you for your support of him for all of these years. But there is one more thing. In the mid to late 80s and early 1990s, the two Dannies, as they would refer to each other, Danny Akaka and Danny Inouye, decided that it was time to put a draft piece of legislation together to begin the conversation about Native Hawaiian sovereignty and the right to self-determination. And for those that are kind of my age or a little older, you remember what happened. It was wild. There were protests, they were screaming, they were yelling, they were cursing, but those two above us, they took it, they endured it. And I gotta share with you a conversation that the senator's most senior political advisor had with him one day after we endured days of yelling and cursing and cussing. And his advisor looked at him and said, "Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind?" And he said, "No, not at all. If Kaniawe and I didn't do this, who else would? That I have no delusion that I will still be here when there is a Native Hawaiian governing entity. So the least that we could do is to set the table, get rid of the anger and the emotion to allow the next generation, because it will be the next generation, that allows to take this conversation forward in a positive way to conclusion. And all you need to do is look at the paper this week to see our Interior Secretary was here. And the conversation on self-determination will always be passionate. But today it is civil and it is inclusive. And I think that is probably his greatest and most enduring gift to the people of this land. And so on behalf of the family and the Inouye Institute, I do have a presentation as well. Many, many years ago, the senator was given this gift. And the little notation behind it was a very simple request that he continue to speak to those, or for those, without voice, and to continue to be their advocate. So I think it is only fitting that the family return this gift to the Royal Societies, who collectively continue to hold the pride and the wisdom of the Native people. And it is my understanding that it will be in the Iolani Palace. And I hope when you all have opportunity to go to the palace and to see it, that you will remember him fondly. And remember his deep, unabiding aloha for the people of this land. Aloha and God bless.